Hi, this is Susan from BakeWithMom.com. Check me out every Friday. I'll be posting a new recipe. Today we're going to make potato chip cookies. We're going to start with a half a pound of butter, which is 2 sticks. And to that we're going to add our sugar. And we need a half a cup of sugar. So we're going to add our sugar in. Don't forget, we always scrape the sides and bottoms so we get everything blended together. We want that sugar to be incorporated into the butter. Okay, it's incorporated, and now we're going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Get that blended in. And now I have 1 3/4 cups of sifted flour. I've sifted it already, and that's going to go in next. Have to scrape the bottom to get that flour off the bottom, otherwise you'll have lumps of dried flour. So we're going to get all of this flour incorporated, and you can use any type you want. I figured with potato chips, almonds would go best, so I've ground them with my little grinder. You may do it with a food processor. Some blenders grind up nuts really nice. Or you can use an old-fashioned grater if you're lucky enough to have one. But here are my nuts. Those go next. First I want to make sure all my flour is incorporated though. We've got a little bit on the bottom here that's dry. Scrape our sides down so we've got everything in here. Okay, now we're going to add our nuts. Get them all blended into the dough. We want to mix it into the dough so that it's evenly distributed as much as possible. Okay, now we're going to turn this off. I'm going to scrape off my beaters. Always be sure you have nice clean hands when you're doing this. I like to wash my hands sometimes even while I'm preparing something. I'll wash in between stages. Now I have 3/4 of a cup of crushed, I just put them in a baggie and I crushed up some potato chips. Those we are going to just fold in. We don't want them getting crushed by the beaters, so we'll just fold those in with our rubber spatula. Before I start folding that potato chips in, I'm going to put my oven at 350 degrees. Start it heating up. Okay, so I've put all of my dough on the bottom of the bowl. I'm going to sprinkle in some of my potato chips. I sprinkled about half of them in, and I'm going to lift from the bottom and fold over the middle of the dough, pressing it down so that our chips stay in place. So I've got the rest of my potato chips on top of the dough. Spread it around a little bit. Now you go from the bottom and lift up and crush. Go from the bottom, lift up and crush. Scrape the sides, We're just trying to get them mixed into the dough so that you have potato chips in it, since these are potato chip cookies. We want potato chips in all of the dough. Okay, now we're going to put them on our baking pan, and the baking pan does not need to be greased. We just want our baking pan plain. I'm going to take a spoon and drop some dough on. You don't have to roll this into balls. We're just going to spoon it into little mounds to make our potato chip cookies. Try to get the mounds about the same size if you can, so that they cook evenly, all of them. If you have some large and some small, some will get overdone and some won't get done enough. So we try to keep them the same size. Okay, so we have our oven at 350 degrees. Our pans are ready, and we're going to put them in the oven for 10 minutes. And then I'm going to switch the pans and do 10 more minutes. So 20 minutes total for baking. Okay, we're halfway through our cooking time, so we're going to switch our two pans. Bottom goes on the top and the top goes on the bottom, so that our cookies bake evenly. You want the tops of the bottom ones to cook and the bottoms of the top to cook. And we'll have potato chip cookies in 10 minutes. Okay, let's check our cookies. Oh, nice and golden. Potato chips cookies are cool enough now. Let's give them a taste. Nice and crunchy. The crunch comes from the potato chip and the nuts. And it's nice and light, kind of like my Mexican wedding cake. Check it out online. I post a new one every Friday. Hi, I'm Susan with BakeWithMom.com. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and you can learn to bake something new every Friday. Check out this video here and this one here. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. You know you want to learn how to bake. You want to bake these cookies because they're awesome. You want to bake that bread and this cake, so make sure you subscribe to my channel.